Welcome to my Excel to PowerPoint dashboard. Today I'm going to show you how to create a very nice interactive Excel PowerPoint dashboard just like this. We have our data or our back end in Excel that we actually link to the dashboard right here in PowerPoint that we can actually create from the scratch. So which means we're going to create this together from the scratch in just a few minutes. We'll be done. Okay, right now before I actually go ahead and show you what it is, let me just give you the idea behind this. I actually saw this in Power BI. It's very interactive. When you click a particular visual in Power BI, it gives you a full screen of that visual and you get to see more information about it. I felt like I wish to create this. I made the research and I actually got this for you guys. So right now what you need to do to support my channel is just for you to hit the subscribe button if you find value right now on this. Now let's say this is the revenue, right? So it's 189,480. So right now if you want to see how we came about this particular revenue, when you click on it, you can now see that we sold this type of pieces to actually make the revenue of 189,480. So right now in this particular row you can see we sell BBQ to Abuja as location, Ibadan, Ikoyi, Lekki, Surulere, and this is the grand total. And when you come to this particular column right here, what we have is just the sales in Abuja based on every pizza types. It's very awesome, right? You can see how very nice it is. So you want to see top 3 of it. This is what we have. That is nice. So let me just show you how to create this from the scratch, but before then let me take you to the back end. So now here is the back end right here. That is okay, this is the dashboard. This is the first dashboard we have created that actually gave us what we really have. It's highly interactive that you can actually create within a very few minutes. Now let's see, we have Abuja right here right now as the highest sales city. So if we go back to our PowerPoint, almost the same thing. Okay, let me see what we need to do right now. Let me show you the one we're going to be actually creating on top. So this is what it is. So right now I've actually got this right here. So just to make sure we have it created in a very short time, so I'm going to show you how to get a visual right here. So go back to the dashboard and have this visual copied down to that particular dashboard we have open. So now right click and see, make sure you always select keep source formatting and link data. So now that we have just gotten to do that, so what we need to do right now is for we to actually move this to the right place. So make sure it's sitting right here. So here we go, nicely. So now this is what it is. So now we have Abuja selected. Let's see if this is actually dynamic or not. So Abuja is right here right now. We're going to actually make sure we have another highest selling city selected. So now if I go to BBQ as a pizza type, you can see, so what we have right now is Lekki. So go back and see if that updates. So exactly, it updates to Lekki, which means it's connected. So now how do we do this? If I actually put it on full screen right now, so we can actually select anything to bring us any other visual that is going to make sure it explains better to us. So what do we do to get that ready? So this is what we need to do. So we have to start creating from the scratch. The first thing first is for we to click on home, and from home we need to click on select, and now we go to select selection pan. So on that selection panel right here, what we need is nothing yet, but we are going to start getting something to be done. So right now we want to actually start to create that interactiveness in our dashboard. So all this has to do with all the visuals we have right here, but we are going to start creating new ones right now. The first we need to do is for you to actually click on this shape and create what I call hotspot. So we need to actually create a hotspot right here because this is where our end user is going to click on. So I'm going to right click on this and actually click on this format shape. So from format shape I'm going to actually have to put this on 100% transparency and actually say no line. So now I'm going to click cancel. So I'm going to actually have to say okay, now I'm going to name this to hotspot 1 because I'm going to have more than one hotspot. So I'm going to hit OK. So now that is my hotspot 1 is being named. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is for me to click on the same insert again and make sure I have this right on top of there. So cover it all. So what am I going to do? I want to have it on transparency, that every single time I make a selection of a particular visual, I have the previous one to show a little bit, but not just like that. So I'm gonna actually have to use this color and make sure I put this transparency. This is really nice, right? So I'm gonna say no line. So here we go. So I'm gonna name this one to be background transparency. So background transparent. So now I'm gonna have to duplicate the same background again. So this time around I'm going to duplicate it and make sure I have it this way. Yeah, now I'm not gonna have it on full transparency as this, so I'm gonna have to reduce the transparency to something like this. So no line. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna say no transparency. Just gonna say no transparency. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is for me to actually get how we want to actually close it. Every single time we pop it up and we want to actually close it to open another one. So what do? We need to have a cancel sign right there. So now here is this multiplication sign right here, or this equation shape. Just select it and actually make sure you reduce it and make it smaller. So exactly, and I'm gonna have it right here. So I'm gonna give it a different color. Just change this and actually give it this red color. So and no line. So I'm gonna have to close this for now, and I'm gonna select this, and you'll see what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna have it right here. So because every single time somebody wants to select, I don't want the person to select it, and if the person doesn't get the right X, it's gonna actually not gonna close. So I'm gonna have this and actually call this something different. I'm gonna put this on 100% and no line. Here we go. So this first one inside it, which is the red one, is gonna be cancel, and this is gonna be cancel trigger. Yeah, I'm gonna name this one to be cancel trigger 1 because I'm gonna have more than one. So cancel trigger 1 now. Now that I've gotten this, is the next thing I'm gonna do right now is to make sure I bring my visual right here. So what do I need to be here? So I'm gonna click back and actually see where I have that analysis right. So go back to the back end right now. Here we go. This is what we need to actually have right here. So I've already analyzed it right here, which is not what I'm actually up to today. So what I'm up to today is just for me to create that right here. So the reason why I gave it a white background is just for me to make sure it appears right on the particular PowerPoint dashboard. So I'm going to click on this one and actually right click and actually copy this from here. So go back to my PowerPoint and actually right click right here and actually make sure you have the yeah, exactly, something like this. So I'm going to make sure I make it down to this area and select exactly, this is what I need. So right now I want to actually give information about this particular I'm going to give more information to actually, if somebody actually opens it, I want the person to understand what is going on right here. So for the first time I'm going to actually have to say table. So now how do we get the information right on top of this? So I'm going to actually click right here and select this particular shape type, and I'm going to actually bring this down right here, and I'm going to say so now here we go. So right click from here and actually choose this shape and say no line. I'm going to select a particular color. This very color is very nice for me. So now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use this particular click on insert, and I'm going to hit on text box, and here we go. I'm going to have my text right here right now. So now let's see how we can add dummy text. So I'm going to say Lorem 1 to 2, 1 paragraph, 2 lines, right? So I'm going to hit enter. So here we go, right? And I'm going to have to duplicate this. So now I can make sure I centralize this. Go to home, and here we go. So bring it down. So now I'm going to actually put something that's going to make sure it's somebody reads it. So I'm going to have this to be so description. So my description will come right here, and I'll minimize this and I have it on this very calm black color. So this is what it is. So now if I actually go back and actually click on this, I'm gonna have this description, description 1, because I'm gonna have in the description, and here it's gonna be my text 1. So just name it so that if you want to actually make sure you have any action to be on any of them, you will know what to select. Text 1. Exactly, this is what we need. This is everything we just need to actually have this created, right? So the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to have to shift this a little bit right here. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to actually make sure the action follows, right? So now what do we do? I'm going to click on this, have this clicked, and have this clicked as well. I'm going to have this clicked, and I'm going to have this clicked, So the hotspot, we're going to click on the hotspot. So what we just need to do is just for we to actually start adding our action automatically. So what I'm going to do to this one now is just to make sure this one flies in. So I'm going to click on this fly in. So from which direction? I'm going to have to choose the direction for this fly in. So I'm going to click on this effect option right here. I'm going to say from the left side. So it's going to start from the left side. Exactly, this is how I really want it to happen. So now after I've just done that, what I'm going to do right now is just for me to click on this trigger right here and click on this click of what? On click of the hotspot 1. So this is what it is. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is for me to actually make sure I select it again. Select the same thing, actually make sure I give it the cancel action. So don't ever select the hotspot when you want to do this. That is very, very important. You just have to take note of that. So right now I'm going to select this animation, and now we're going to select this add animation. So we're going to add. So we're not going to make any of this selection right here. So go to add, and you're going to see this particular aspect right here where we have our exits. So what we need right now is the exit. So you can either choose from this exits we have right here, or you click on more exits. So here you go, it presents you with more exits that you need to know about before you actually make your selection. So right now what am I going to do? So I'm going to say, okay, I want it to actually float up every single time. It disappears just like this. So if I love that, I'm gonna say okay, fine, that is nice. So right now what I need to do is for me to actually click on this particular aspect right here on this animation and actually see this trigger and make sure I have this go down and actually see cancel trigger, and this is very awesome. So right now let us test it out and see if this is working for us. So right now you see, if I actually click on this right now, it flies in and it flies out automatically. This is how beautiful it is. But wait a minute, what if we want to actually add more of this? How do we do that? So now this is something very important that to show you. So now if you want to add more to this, what we need to do is actually for we to actually close those very eyes right here. Make sure you have this closed to give you chance to actually, you know, get more of this done. So have this closed down to the last one, to the last up spot, and have it closed. So they are all away right now, so you can start creating new one ASAP. So let's just test it out and see how that can actually go before I actually show you the final trick that you need to get to make sure you have this very dynamic. Okay, here we go. Now we need to create a hotspot for this and actually see how this can actually get to. Okay, here we go. Very snappy. So I don't need to explain much because I've already done that in the previous one. So I just need to do this very snappy. I'm gonna have to take this to 100% and say no line, and here we go. I'm going to say hotspot 2. Yeah, it's gonna be hotspot 2. I've already have. Okay, I had one before. Hotspot 2. So right now I'm gonna actually have to put my screen transparency, insert this, and for this one we're gonna make it more transparency. So right click on this and actually select this shape, and now we're going to see no line, and we need to select, let me just select that, and I'm gonna say this. So I'm gonna have to close this right here for now. So now I'm gonna have to duplicate this. For now I'm gonna name this one to be the background. So I'm gonna select the background, Ctrl D, we have me duplicate that, and I'm gonna bring it down right here. So bring this down. So here we go, I have it selected. So right now I'm gonna say background, no transparency, no trans. Okay, fine. I can now click and make sure I reduce the transparency, or I say no transparency. I can actually remove the transparency fine if need be. So I'm gonna add a little transparency on it. So right now this is what we have. So right now I need to get what's gonna be here, right? But before then, let's just see how we can actually add our cancel button. So the first thing we need to do is just to have this right here, the cancel button right here, and I'm gonna have to format it to what I really want. So it's gonna be nicely just like this. So right now I just need to put the trigger aspect of it right on top of it. So it's gonna be the trigger, so it's gonna be on 100%, so it's not gonna show. So it's gonna be cancel trigger 2, and here it's gonna be cancel. You need to name them so that you can actually remember what it is. It's just gonna be cancel. So exactly, this is what we need. So right now we need to get what's going to be here, right here. So go to the back end. This time around I'm going to choose this particular one. So this is the visual I need to actually have right there. I'm going to right click and actually copy from here and go back and have it dropped right on top of this. So here we go. It's just going to take a little while to actually get itself right here. This is what we really want, and I'm going to actually make sure I move this a little bit up. Okay, bring it down. So click on this and have this go to the top level a little bit. Okay, fine. So right now I need to actually add a little information about what is going on right here. How do I do that? So I'm gonna actually make sure I bring this down a little bit. So now what we've just done before is what we are going to do again. It's going it's going to be for we to actually add this. Okay, sorry, my visual. Okay. So sorry for that. I just want to make sure this is rightly sitting well. Fine. So now what I need to do is just for me to go back to the insert and actually insert a particular shape, maybe something like this. Gonna be okay. So I'm gonna make sure I have more information right here that reads something nice to the end user. So what I'm gonna do is just for me to actually change the color to what I've actually had previously, if you really want to get to see that. So here we go. I'm gonna choose this color. I'm gonna say no, this, and here we go. And I'm going to just go to insert, and from the insert I'm gonna say worded. I'm gonna say description. So description, I'm gonna have to bring my description down. So click on the description and move to this. So description has us. So we have just make it corrected. Okay, fine. I'm gonna go to home and actually make sure I have the description on. Okay, let's have it on 18. So let's put it on bold for now. So right now if I click back to this very insert, I'm gonna see I'm gonna have to insert a text box where I can have my description right on this. Okay, fine. You can just say Lorem. If I hit enter, it can give me this. So I don't really want all of them, so I'm going to take this off. So right now this is what I have. So exactly this is what I need to have. I'm going to just select this. I'm going to go to, okay, I'm going to say text to and this is going to be on my description. So description, and I'm gonna have to close this for now and have this closed. Just close everything right here to make sure you have what you want. So now here we go. So right now this is everything you need to know. So if I click on this, you can see this is what it is, and if I click on this, it's going to give you a highlight of what you will have right here. So I'm going to click on either on any of this and highlight them all together. I'm going to click this background, and the hotspot 2 is going not going to be clicked right here. So right now what I need to do right now, I need to actually add an animation. So now I'm going to say fly in this time around. Should I say fly in? I can actually use another way. I can just say up here, so it can actually appear if you have it clicked, so just like that, but it's not going to have much fun like what we have used right here. So right now I can actually use under direction, or maybe this round I'm going to use from top right. So here we go, it's going to appear just this way, right? So now what we need to do is this. Let's see if this is can actually play it and see the preview. Okay, fine, that is nice. So right now, before we do that, I can actually go right on this and actually click on the trigger aspect of it, and make sure you go down a little bit and see the hotspot 2 is what we need to use. So hotspot 2, and this time I'm going to select this particular aspect and actually right click and make sure I remove the no line. So now here we go. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to select this again, but before then let me just show you one thing. Just go to the animation, and from animation I'm going to select this one right here. So here we go, we can actually see what we are doing, right? So select all this. So don't select the hotspot, so just go to this animation and actually add, just add, and you're gonna actually use something different. Right now I'm gonna say more effect on it. I'm gonna say float. Okay, I think we have something float up. So it's gonna float up to disappear. So it's going to float up to disappear, which is what I like. I'm going to click on this animation, I'm going to click on this particular trigger, and here we go. I'm going to say cancel trigger tool. So cancel trigger tool works. So right now if I actually make sure, come back right here and make sure you select everything to actually show, I'm going to say show all. Now all is showing right now. You can see everything actually appeared right here. So if I actually click on this, what I'm going to see is nothing yet. So we can't find anything, but we can actually place our cursor right here, and when we click this, what we're going to have is more information, and when we click on cancel, it goes away. And now we click on this particular aspect, what we see is more information, and this is what it is. Awesome, right? So I believe you've known how to create this, how you can actually apply this to any project you want to have. It doesn't necessarily mean that it must be in Excel or wherever. You can have this on any project as well. So let me show you the final thing you need to do to actually. So click on slideshow and actually click on this set up slides. Make sure this browse at a kiosk full screen, so that every single time you make a selection, after you select it, it's not going to automatically select itself and move to the next slide. No, it's not going to move to the next slide. It's going to stay to the very slide you have open. That is what you need to do. You have to have that clicked. This is exactly what I have to show you. I believe this helped you. If you find value, if really you find value, please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and actually hit the like button. If you can help me share this, I'll be very much happy, because you're going to help my community to grow. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed, stay very blessed, and stay out of trouble.